It's currently witch season. How do you know if you're a witch? How do you know if you're a witch?
You just know.
We just know. Are you guys ready for it? Welcome to another episode of Nice Girls Gone Woo. Ready? 1, 2, 3, let's go! Hey everybody, welcome back to episode of Nice Girls Gone Woo. Today we have one of my witch sisters, Lena, from we know each other from a past life. That's what we're sensing. When we see each other, we feel this energy. And so today we're going to talk a little about the Sacral Chakra. It's also witch season. We're going to touch base on witches in our past life and how do we start healing the Sacral Chakra to navigate through this vehicle, through this body. So Lena, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Lena, and I am an expert in feminine energetics. I have spent some time learning about the chakral system, the difference between feminine and masculine energetics, how the chakras work and interact with each other, basically, not just on energetical level, but also like on a daily basis through the simple things we do and say and how we do and say them. And it's a very deep and interesting subject, really. Yeah, that's shortly.
And by the way, just to clear this out, right? Does she not look like Wonder Woman? Gal Gadot. It's very interesting. Like when we're talking about manifestation, opening up all our chakras, it's so much easier for us to think of something and then manifest it, right? And so I remember there was a phase that me and a group of women I was coaching were talking about Wonder Woman, and then Lena popping out of nowhere. Like, where did she come from? Like, I had a different reality.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, Wonder Woman showing my field. So it's very interesting. So we're all pulled to different.
I saw the light goddesses. I was like, ooh, that's for me.
Oh, for sure. Like on this different realm, the light goddess, the sisterhood of light.
Yeah.
However, if you go back in past lives and in different lifetimes, we were probably in the same sisterhood, but labeled as witches.
Obviously.
Right? And so today's episode, we're going to touch base on like the stigma around witches. It is witch season, by the way. So we're going to bring back to life this sisterhood that's been kind of robbed from us, right? By the church and
mostly.
Let's talk about that and the healing of the sacral chakra, because I think it's very important for us as women.
Yes.
To embrace this energy and how to navigate through it and really open this up so that we can be aligned in all our chakras. But this is probably the most important chakra for women.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's probably the most powerful force that a woman has. The femininity comes from the sacral chakra. I mean, it's the femininity, like the definition of femininity, it's honestly, it's so flawed right now. People think about, long skirts and long hair, blah, blah, blah. Like that's does not, I can wear like jeans and, I don't know, a hoodie with a, something on top of my head and still be feminine because the true femininity comes through your energy.
Yeah.
And like your sacral chakra is probably the most important for a woman to have replenished and full of energy at all times and at all costs. Okay. Because you just lose your life force through losing that energy as a woman.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk more, like how can you tell if, so what is the sacral chakra and how do you tell when it's blocked?
Simple things. First of all, if you have any shame connected to sexuality, that's probably the most common block that women have. Shame. Mm-hmm. Maybe guilt. Basically any emotional state that's not positive, that's not happy. All emotions are sacral chakras. So obviously if there's a lot of negative emotions, a lot of heavy energies that you process, that's sacral chakra out of balance. Also the connections to your previous partners that you haven't really worked through will also bring that energy down, because we have the connection, like the chords, the words that you use. I really like that, those, you know, the chords that connect us to our previous partners. And if we didn't do anything with them, that energy keeps flowing towards those people, which means you're losing energy. And that's one of the reasons how we lose it, basically.
Yeah, cutting cords.
Yes, very important.
So having sexual partners, right? There is a connection connected to us on a more physical level, like a deeper connection, because we open up ourselves during sex. So working through that, cutting those cords. Another thing you mentioned was pregnancy. Pregnancy. Talk more about that.
So, okay. So your sacral chakra, well, I'll just give a little background on the chakral system. Not the whole, just we're talking about sacral chakra. So it's active in women, it's passive in men. So when I say that it's active in women, it means that a woman produces the sacral energy within her body, and if she for some reason loses it and she doesn't know how to replenish it, then that energy just leaves the body and creates disease. And it could be emotional illness, like, you know, depression is very common. One of the common symptoms of the complete loss of the energy, really, or like being low on it, is, you know, postpartum depression. It's a very common thing. I don't think there's a single woman who did not experience it, at least for a little bit, like at least baby blues is what it's called. So once you've given birth, you gave out immense amount of energy just out of your body. And
that just reminded me, like a cord being cut. The umbilical cord. Okay. So
but then, because you see, like, once your child inside you, you know, you like, you still have that energy inside your body, but once you give birth, or like if there's an abortion, or if there's miscarriage, it doesn't really matter which way the fetus leaves the body, but once it's left the body, that's your energy that you lost as well. And with that energy, you lose your life force, your positive emotional state. And this is why it's very important to first be aware of it, why it happened. And most women don't even know, like, they don't even know the connection. We just like know that it's a normal thing, but why that happened,
right,
nobody really tells us on the energetical level. So once you become aware of it, you know, okay, I need to work with my sacral chakra, because obviously, and because you lost the energy doesn't mean that you can't get it back. Like I said, it's an active chakra in women, so you produce that energy in your own body just because you're a woman. It's always there, you just need to know that it's there and how to bring it back. It's not bringing back, it's more like producing more. You need to have so much that it's enough for you to always be full of it, because your child, until they're 12 years old, they feed off of your sacral chakra energy, and that's a normal thing, because they need it for their development as well, because this is the life energy. It's not just sexuality, it's not just creativity, it's also life energy. So we cut the cord with a child once they're 12 years old, because then it's become more and more not healthy if we don't cut the cord.
And then you also mentioned like the shame and guilt, right? The emotions behind it. I feel like
Major blocks.
miscarriage and abortion, right? Typically when people have abortion, they don't share that.
Yeah.
It's that shame
Guilt.
behind it. Even sexuality. If you can't fully...
We have been conditioned, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we have been conditioned to believe that sexuality is shameful, and that goes to all those centuries back when you and I were witches, and they were telling us like, oh, they're witches because they're powerful, because they're sexual, because they're attractive. And that's, you know, like, femininity is a very powerful force. The feminine sexuality is a very powerful force, and it's very intimidating, especially to the church who wants to have all the power.
Right. And it is one of the major power centers, right? Because if our sacral is blocked, then energy can't really flow up into the higher chakras, which is heart center, your third eye, which is seeing your vision, your purpose, and then your crown connected to the design, connecting to the divine. Also throat chakra, speaking your truth.
Yeah.
So even if it's just the sacral chakra that's blocked, there's not going to be enough energy coming through to be full alignment, right? So there's going to be some misalignment along the way. And we walk unaware. Just bringing this to your awareness, for those who are watching who are female or who has past life as females, when you learn about this, you start healing the past. Or you bring into awareness, like, why certain things happen. So this is the beginning stage of healing the chakras. Just even talking, expressing it, why it's working a certain way, why you're feeling a certain way, why you're feeling stagnant, you're feeling stuck, feeling depressed.
Because you can't really, I feel like you can't work with something that you're not aware of. Like once you become aware, like, oh, I have this chakra, okay, so that brings me this kind of energy. Okay, well, let me see what I can do with it. And even the focus in its own, just thinking about it, trying to find it, just simple, closing your eyes, trying to feel it and find it in your body will bring the focus to it, which will already bring the energy. And even that little will already make some changes, create changes, maybe not in your personality or life like right away, but you will feel different energy. Maybe you'll feel a little more hyper, maybe you'll feel a little more happier, maybe, I don't know what else might happen.
Yeah, and then self-love, like taking care of your body. Yes. That's one thing you learn to think, oh, that makes a lot of sense, right? Because when women are depressed, we disconnect ourselves from this body, this vehicle.
Yes.
And
that's basically like the lack of desire. So what is depression? Depression is when you have no desires. And you see, like, having wishes, why women always want things. I want this, I want that, I want that, I don't know, dress or shoes or whatever. This is her active sacral chakra. This is normal. And once we put like limits to what we can wish for, like for example, oh, I really want that purse, but like no, like I need to be a good girl, I shouldn't get that for me, like that would be selfish. You need to go get that purse because the guilt, exactly. Okay. You put in blocks. Like once you don't allow yourself to desire things, that's how you block your sacral chakra.
Okay. So what are some other ways that you heal or cut these cords with these chakras?
So, okay, very, very important that you cut the cords with your previous sexual partners, because until you do, that energy is going to continue flowing to those people. And it's not like, oh, I'm greedy. Like, it's just not, you don't need to lose your energy more than you should. So that's number one. How you can do it, you can just go into meditative state, close your eyes, go into meditative state, do some breathing practice to calm your mind, and then really bring the focus to your sacral chakra, which is, I mean, you can Google that, but it's, how do you say it in your body? Like I think it's like 3 fingers below your
under the navel? Yeah, under your belly button. It's where your sexual organs are, around there, like underneath your belly button. So
your uterus, actually.
Yeah.
Excuse us. So you bring your attention to that center inside your body, and you can start visualizing, or you can just see or like observe what you're feeling or seeing. Like I would see the colors. You were talking about the orange colors coming in very strongly.
Halloween too.
Yes, but that's exactly the color of the sacral chakra. It's just bright orange, and sometimes, you would see it as like this ball, like massive ball of energy. If you don't see anything, maybe you don't have any energy in there, and but that's okay. Like you'll just make more. So bring your focus there, feel that ball of energy, and I promise you're gonna feel just the warmth. And then it will go throughout your whole body. You will feel some sort of movement, because honestly, I don't think I've seen or met any woman who hasn't felt anything when they were trying to locate the sacral chakra. As women, just because it's a very active chakra in us, you're gonna feel it.
Well, if it's active, right? What if it's blocked or dormant?
Like I said, like it's just low in energy most likely, which will be the case for a lot of people, and you just bring the energy in it. So there's multiple ways of how you can do it. You can do that through the intention. You can just, decide like, okay, the energy is flowing, and you will see, you can visualize in any way you want. So like you can visualize this ball of energy, bright orange ball of energy. You can see it spinning, for example. Like what I was taught is that it spins inside your body, like basically within your body, right? And it spins outward, and that's how it grows denser and bigger. This is how the energy is being produced in that center. Basically, that's how all chakras work, according to what I was told. But then you may be able to see something else. There's really no rules. As long as you get the result that you're looking for, and that is to replenish the energy.
Yes. So whatever we're talking and teaching, everyone who's watching, these are different techniques that we use. There's going to be multiple techniques, right? So use one that resonates with you. It's easier for you. And whatever works, right? Like you said, the end result, what are we trying to achieve, the intention. I do want to add on to that part of the cord.
So once you locate that chakra, once you feel the energy in it, one of the ways that you can do the cord thing, you can visualize the specific, previous sexual partner, and see the connection to his sacral chakra, and you can burn the cord, you can cut it, whatever works for you.
And by cutting, the job done. By cutting it, you can just use your hand or a selenite crystal, depending on what crystal calls you. But you just imagine yourself cutting the cord.
You can use the scissors if you want.
Scissors too. Or is it
whatever works? Like it's different for every person, I believe.
Yeah, whatever resonates. And also, a really important thing that you mentioned was like imagine that person.
Yes.
One thing to add is feel that emotion that that person brought to you, or like that either it's shame, guilt. Bring up the emotions, because you're gonna feel it surfacing, right? Sometimes like that, why people go to therapy, they even talk about this stuff, is just allow the energy to leave, to bring awareness to it, and then just allow it to leave your body. Sometimes that's all you need to do. Is to express it, what you're feeling.
I think like once you become aware of something, it doesn't need to be in your reality anymore. I think that's how it works. Well, for me at least.
And clearing it too. So another technique I was taught, have you heard of the Ho'oponopono technique? So so you can do this on all chakras actually, but this Ho'oponopono, I think I said it right, but it's a Hawaiian prayer where it only has 4 phrases. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah, so so when you're focusing on this chakra, imagine that person, right? Because the first is forgiveness. What forgiveness releases all these cords. So it could be in this lifetime or previous lifetimes. So let's start with this lifetime. Imagine whatever energy you're feeling, even if it's through abortion, miscarriage, pregnancy, an ex. Imagine that feeling that they made you feel, right? And just allow it to come up. And the more you feel it, the more it's going to surface, because that's how it's keeping it blocked. And then just keep repeating, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Keep repeating those 4 until you feel a release.
That's really nice. I've never heard of it, but I like it.
It's a very powerful prayer.
Wow, yeah.
And so you like whenever you feel something, you just feel it coming up. And this is where people snap. This is where people have breakdowns.
That's actually, yes. And that, now that you mention it, I remember when you work with your sacral chakra, even through some yoga techniques, because obviously, like certain poses are connected to certain chakras, and I would sometimes create like a whole, like an hour and a half class for like a specifically sacral chakra. And that will also sometimes release a lot of emotions. Like you need to be ready, like whenever you work with the sacral chakra, you might not even be aware or realize when you're starting to maybe do a meditation or some yoga poses, you might just start crying, and that will be a good thing.
It's a purge.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. So energy comes in 3 forms. Ice, so water, right? We're 80% water. Water has memory. Ice, liquid, vapor. It's the same form. I mean, it's different form, but same thing. So whenever we're like purging, we're burping, gas being released, or if we're doing yoga, we're allowing this breath, this breathing is also a way to bring it out. Talking is breathing it out. So those are some of the ways that you can purge this energy. Sometimes we just need to talk.
Most of the time, that's what works for me. I just talk.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't even need an answer. I just talk.
Just talk. Yeah, talk to yourself. Record yourself talking, and then when you watch yourself back, like watching yourself from a third person point of view.
Observer.
Observer. Yeah, observe, and then like, oh, is that what I'm feeling? Is that the space I'm in? And then you bring this awareness that we just brought awareness to you guys, female too, like what's happening, and it's like, oh, and then you can do that practice. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. And notice whenever you watch your younger self back, like wow, I was in a different space.
That is very true though. Like even me a year ago, like maybe like a half a year ago, completely different person.
Oh yeah.
I actually like looking back sometimes. But anyway, I wanted to say something else. Oh, I wanted to kind of bring us back to the subject of feeling depressed after giving birth or having any, trauma of a childbirth. I feel it's a very traumatic experience, to be honest. Like I remember myself crying. I was just crying after I had my son, and I couldn't explain why. And I was looking at him and I'm crying. Then I found out that like I just lost so much energy, and I had no idea how to replenish that. It actually took me some time, and then I started learning about the energetical system. Then I learned like, oh, I can actually replenish my sexual energy. And like we're not talking about sex when we're talking about sexual energy, just the energy of creation, the energy of the life force is what it is. So if you don't have any life force left in you because you just gave life to someone else, or you just lost through miscarriage, for example, like you have to replenish that. And if you don't want to do meditation, that's fine. You don't have to work with the sacral chakra on the energetical level. You can actually go and do that in your everyday life. Like we're talking about having desires and wishes. Why shopping works for women? That's exactly why. You replenish your sacral chakra energy and you become more yourself. You're more in tune with who you really are. And sexual energy is so powerful. Like once you open that up, oh my God, like your life may change like overnight. Because that energy force and like the flow is just so intense. That energy is so powerful that it will literally like burn down everything you've built that was not good for you. That's how powerful that is. So once you've opened that up, that's why a lot of people are actually afraid of when women discover, like, let's say, how attractive they are, even to themselves. I'm not talking about like going around and like, being attractive for like all these men. I'm talking about like when a woman is in love with herself, that's a very dangerous woman.
Yeah, because you're exuding that energy out.
Yeah. It's very powerful.
Mirror work also helps a lot too. Just saying I love you to yourself in the camera or in the mirror, that works too. And also think about depression, right? Right, childbirth, you're cutting a cord, a physical cord. But then energetically, if you're cutting cords with the people in your life, like the Ho'oponopono prayer or using the hand, right? You may also feel tired and depleted too. Because it's severing a cord that's no longer exchanging energy. So you feel replenished if someone's taking energy from you, or if you're taking energy from someone else, then you might feel a little bit depleted.
Well, I don't think that like as a woman you don't take the energy because your sacral chakra is active. Like you don't intake the energy from the outside on that level. You only capable of giving it out.
Interesting.
So that's why when you cut the cord, you're like bring your energy back. So like you don't take, well actually you can. If you want to, you can take that energy back, but by cutting the cord you stop the flow. So you don't lose it anymore, so you don't give out more, so you keep it to yourself. That other person might actually feel it on their, like they will, you might randomly pop up in their head and, they might text you and they don't even know why, but that's why.
That's a cord.
But you will definitely feel the difference. Like once you've cut that cord, or like multiple cords, you will feel that your energy is just present with you. and you don't lose or waste your energy, you know, for like thinking about other people. They're just not gonna be in your reality anymore.
Yeah, they're literally gonna leave your field. That's the cool thing about it. I think, okay, so again, with all this energy pounding into our atmosphere, the Schumann resonance, like the shift in frequency, a lot of pressure is coming up. And so, yeah, you maybe experience like depression too, right? You're not sure where all this energy is coming through. So it's really important to, like, especially this time, to do the inner work and cut these cords. And to be able to really hear yourself and reconnect with yourself and source. To help navigate through this awakening that we're going through.
Yeah. It's a very tough time. I've been feeling it.
Yeah, I think last time we told us, like, you just shut yourself off and then just spend days on yourself.
Yeah, I do that. Sometimes I'm just not exactly sure what's going on, what the energy is. So when that happens, I just know not to go with it. And I just find whatever way I can, like, what will make me happy right now? That's a sacral chakra also. What will make me happy right now? Let me see, what do I want? And I just go and do that. And then, okay, here's one moment I made myself happy, and then here's another moment, and you just, you know, keep your focus on making yourself feel good right now. Yeah. And that's all. And nothing else matters. It doesn't exist.
Self-care. Oh, also massage really helps.
Yeah.
Massage moves the energy through, and it unlocks all these blocks and knots. So go pamper yourself. Yep. What else do you want to add?
Go shopping. Go do whatever you want. Think about, am I where I want to be in life? Am I happy here? Am I where I want to be every single moment in time? And if their answer is yes, then you don't actually need to do anything. Good for you.
Good for you. So this is the first episode we're going to do together. This is bringing back the divine feminine energy that wants to come through, right? Connecting with our body, connecting with our divine feminine energy to help give birth to this heaven on earth.
Yes.
And so the more you open yourself up, cut these cords, be in tune with the higher powers, in alignment, we're going to get reconnected with people in our past lives. We're different lives all happening simultaneously. So when you meet someone and they resonate with you, it's like, I know
we're
this
probably
person.
doing something else somewhere
I think
at
so
a different
too.
time, like right this second.
Yeah, so we're just changing the channels, shifting our frequency. But yeah, so that's all I have for you guys today. Gals too. Anything else?
Nope. I will see you again soon, hopefully.
Yeah, so thank you, Lena, for being on here. And
thank you. That was fun.
That's fun. That's in flow. So this is what happens when we're in flow. We're in sync with another person. Things just flow. And I'm happy to have you on.
Thank you.
All right. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll catch you when we catch you. Tammy Doe and
Lena.
signing off.